I'm bored and felt like talking to my phone, so I'm going to show you my garden so far. Specifically my bale garden, because that's like my key focus right now. Where's King? There you are. How's your bone? Did you get it all? You're very slobbery. You must have hid it over there somewhere. Here are my bales. This one's got a couple little watermelons in it. Watermelon, pumpkin, tomato. I always forget what these friggin' things are. Nasturtium. But I'll probably put some other flowers or things in here once they get a little bit bigger, but I was just making sure they weren't gonna die off right away. And I fertilize them with my homemade fish fertilizer. I'll have a little video on that. My little pepper plant. I love growing peppers, but my boyfriend is allergic to them, unfortunately. So I didn't grow as many as I usually do. I think these are both pumpkins. How many do I got here? I think I got 6 beds total. So I didn't do it like super scientifically or like by the book or anything. When you start these bales, you're supposed to water them for 3 days and then add fertilizer on day 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then the last 3 days you're just supposed to water it, I think was what it was. So what that does is it just starts the decomposition in the bales, and it starts getting them warm on their inside, so that when you put the plants on, like, everything's gonna be good and they're gonna get their nourishment and whatever. But I did the first 4 days by the book, and then after that I kind of just eyeballed it. They're doing fine. They look happy. This is their day number 3 of being in here, and they're already getting some better growth going on. I don't see anything wilting or dying. And I use this fish fertilizer because it's full of nitrogen, and nitrogen is going to help the bales break down a bit more. You're supposed to like check the temperature of them on the inside before you put your plants in, to make sure that you don't scorch the roots, because as it's decomposing for days 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, it can get like really hot in the middle and actually scorch the roots of your plants if you put them in too soon. But I just kind of dug in with my hand and made sure it wasn't like hot in there, and then I planted them because it seemed pretty perfect. This is another little watermelon bale. It's pretty much all watermelons. Watermelon, 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 and then cabbage, and another melon over there. Oh, we got 2. And you can, oh, this is my compost pile. I was gonna say you can smell them decomposing, but that's what I smell right now. It's all my weeds from in this garden. There's not much going on in this garden so far. Got my radishes and my root vegetables started over here. And there's a huge bush of mint that's taken over this side. Along the sides here, there's little peas growing, but they're not like big enough that you can see much yet. These are all my tomatoes. All the little strings, there's little tomato plants at the bottom of them. And then on the other side where those orange stakes are, those are kale and broccoli. The kale is just super teeny tiny right now. What is this? Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these pumpkins didn't come back, but look, there's already some new growth coming off this one. Cabbage. Pumpkin, nasturtium, pepper, pumpkin. And then before the last frost, I put some onion seeds over here, but it's kind of like grown over and I didn't weed it yet. I got a little pumpkin over there. And what do we got? What is that? It's a watermelon. And some flowers. I forget what those are, but they're flowers. This is a little herb mix. You can see the little stakes down there. Those are each little herb bushes. Then I have some chamomile planted right there. And the bees are just going crazy for these raspberries. Here's my little corn patch. I got some cucumbers in here, just as a little ground cover. There's the other one. And then there's just kind of corn sporadically in here with some climbing beans in the back. That's what I put there. Couldn't remember if it was beans or peas, but definitely beans. Lazy housewife, my favorites. And then starting from here, there's one of my little broccolis. And where's some of my little kales? There's a kale. And then all my tomatoes are staked up in the middle. I got some beefsteaks and some cherry tomatoes, and they're honestly just kind of mixed up. I don't remember which ones are which. There's nothing here so far. But over here is more beets and some cabbage. Where are they? There's one. These are from last year. And I got some melons over in this corner. There's gonna be a lot of melons, hopefully. And I got a couple rows of cabbage planted just right here on the end. They're just like little short rows. We just got into this rental the winter previous, so this is my first time growing in this garden. And I didn't do any rototilling, I'm just doing all the weeding by hand. And that's why I have a bunch of my broccolis and cabbage in first, because I'm hoping they will kind of work to create a lot of shade, maybe take out some of those weeds. But I've done a lot of damage to what this was. This was full of dandelions. But you're gonna have lots of cherries. This cherry tree is just full of fruit. And there's a little apple tree over there. I think it's gonna be a good year for gardens. They're my homies. I kind of just like to sit here and hang out. There's so many bumblebees in here.